Here's a look at the first semifinal matchup. Mark Coleman against Brian Johnston. And this one on paper looks good. Here's the tail of the tape. Johnston is the kickboxer, Coleman the freestyle wrestler. So once again, grappler versus striker. 4 years the senior is Coleman. Johnston has the height advantage. The weight advantage goes to Coleman. It's Ohio against California.
I like this matchup. Boy, Johnston looked great in that first fight. And he was somebody that gave Fry a great fight in UFC 10. I see it to be a good fight here again.
Here comes
Coleman is going to get tested.
Brian Johnston was a training partner for Paul Varlins, accompanied him to UFC 6. Almost took a match once for Oleg Tokarov against him. He played high school football. He wrestled from age 12 to 22. Then he took up judo. Then he became a pro kickboxer. Johnston working with trainer James Brewster Thompson. Also worked with Mike Swain, this year's Olympic judoka. So he has seeked out a lot of quality people to improve. And Javier Mendez is now his manager trainer. So Brian Johnston, who showed a wave of fury in his victory over Reza Nasri, now beats his biggest test.
He took a good wrestler and flung him through the air and bounced him on the mat on his back.
But remember, he lost to Don Fry, so he's been in there with talent.
Oh yeah, both his matches thus far have been against two very experienced grapplers, and he's 1-1.
Here comes the defending champion, Mark Coleman, 4-0 in the octagon. Managed and trained by Richard Hamilton, who has brought about the last 3 UFC champions. Silver medalist in the World Games, 2-time Pan Am Games gold medalist. He has wrestled his whole life.
And he's real good at it.
Well, I tell you, in this UFC, he has been throwing a lot of punches, but I think he'd be ill-advised to duke it out with the Golden Glove champion. He may get caught on the chin, and when you're caught on the chin, all the wrestling experience in the world won't help you.
His dad was a wrestler. He started wrestling in the 6th grade, and there's his folks. His dad, a pretty good wrestler in his own right. That's Don and Connie. His girlfriend, Kelly, is octagon side. Rich Gene Mangoins with the introduction of this semifinal match.
Augusta, Georgia, in the world, we have a great matchup in our first semifinal match. Our first fighter won in 30 seconds of his first match, a kickboxer, 12-0 in amateur competition. The reigning Northern California Golden Gloves super heavyweight champion, 2-1 now in UFC competition, 6'4" and 235 pounds from San Jose, California, Brian Johnston. And his opponent, a winner in 44 seconds of his first match, 2-time Pan American and National Freestyle Champion, 92 Olympic team member from Columbus, Ohio and Phoenix, Arizona, the reigning Ultimate Fighting Champion, 4-0 in the octagon now, Mark Coleman.
So the Coleman gang looks on. Coleman and Johnston, 2 Americans. Big John McCarthy will start it.
You ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Semifinals, 15-minute time limit, 1 3-minute overtime.
I like the way Johnston is crouching. I always believe a striker should get down low. Don't stand up high. Just gives a wrestler or a grappler a good target to get your legs.
Johnson faked the right hand. There's a kick by Johnston.
Leg kicks, jabs, stay away from the grappler. That's the strategy he should be using. Crouching down like that. Use your arms to push.
Come on, I want to see something.
I don't think Coleman liked that leg kick. He didn't like that one either. Now let me tell you something. This is an amateur kickboxer with only 12 bouts. But even those kind of leg kicks are enough to make you think.
Coleman very patient here.
You see what he just did? When that left leg went back, that's what a kickboxer does when his leg is hurt. Here comes Coleman.
Boy, that was a fast double. As soon as he flicked that punch out, Coleman was underneath it.
He saw the
Coleman in
leg.
the prime of his wrestling career in terms of age. He didn't make the Olympic team this year after making it in '92, but he's one elite grappler here in the United States. And in his training area, Phoenix, Arizona, he's got the Sunkist Kids, which is one of the greatest, if not the best, wrestling club in the country.
So Coleman with a short right hand to the head of Brian Johnston. And you're right, Jeff, as soon as he saw that last leg kick, he had respected enough Dragon, so he went for the quick takedown.
Right. I knew he would be ill-advised to stay on his feet. Every second on his feet is a second for Johnston.
Coleman finished 6th in the Olympic trials. He beat Mark Kern. He lost to Dan Shade.
And he's got Johnston now up against the fence. This seems to be a new tactic here in UFC 11. Everybody's pushing their opponent into the fence once down on the ground. Keeps them from sliding. Once you create distance, then you have opportunities.
There's a right hand, another right hand by Coleman. He doubles up on the right.
Oh, he doesn't want to turn his back. That's going to be it.
That is all. Coleman, his celebration is on. And McCarthy quickly stopped it when he turned his back.
Oh, yeah, you don't know what Johnston's thinking there. There's an element of over-celebrating.
Coleman wins in 2:20. I was surprised that Johnston made that move.
It just seemed that, you know, once Coleman got him down on the ground, Coleman being that excellent wrestler, grappler, able to finish it out.
So the ref
Ladies
stops
and
the
gentlemen,
contest in 2:20. And I don't know, Dragon, it didn't look like Johnston wanted to fight
Coleman.
after Coleman made a big